What an affectation. Did you think I just literally sat down, pulled the mic down, took a sip of water? But I pressed record before that happened. Like just right there with my mouse. All of that was just an affectation. It drives me silly. The amount of people I see on here or other video platforms for that matter doing that kind of affectation. It's the old, oh, I didn't see you there thing. Like, why is it even here? To try and humanize you? To try and sort of include some flaws in your production so you seem more approachable? I never understood it. Never ever. I've tried it in my videos many times before. Like over a couple of decades I've been doing this. Every now and again I tried doing it. Tried to figure out why people do it. I have no idea. Literally no idea. It's just a ridiculous affectation. One of countless affectations that, well, quite frankly, is typical of neurotypical people. They do weird little things, weird little lies to try and communicate things to other people. Speaking of lies, we're going to talk about Warner Brothers video games today. And then I'm probably going to have a second part of the video where I talk about something personal. Because, quite frankly, I don't think either is long enough to constitute its own video. So I'm going to, this kind of half and half style. Is it going to work as a video narratively? Probably not. It's ridiculous to even try. But, you know, affectations. So, saw Newsbreak. I think I saw the first headlines about it yesterday, but I saw a few more today as more and more outlets pick up on it. But Warner Brothers, or Warner Brothers Discovery specifically, the company have, I'm looking at the IGN article about it here, which most of the articles source. I don't know whether they were first to report on it, but whatever. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, has fallen short of our expectations, Warner Brothers Discovery has said. Speaking during the financial call, Warner Brothers Discovery Chief Financial Officer, CFO to you and me, Gunnar Weidenfels, admitted that Rocksteady's game, not Warner Brothers' game, Rocksteady's game, hadn't done the business the company had hoped for since going on sale on February 2nd, priced at $70 American, saying it had fallen short of our expectations. Gunnar, can I call you Gunnar? Mr. Weidenfels, Gunnar, Gunny boy, dickhead. What expectations did you have? You made a studio that had an amazing reputation for a very specific type of game using Batman and related characters. They've done it several times. People love those games, the way they were made, the particulars of those games. And you went to that studio and you said, hey, how about you not make the type of game you're really, really good at and everybody loves and is highly praised from critics and customers alike, but how about you make a live service looter shooter game, and it's not going to star the heroes. It's going to be a lot of also rans that were in a movie we did recently that we did so badly we had to reboot it again within a few years and try it again because we're really desperate to make this IP stick. It's called the Suicide Squad. So having failed twice already in movies to make the Suicide Squad something people give a shit about, you asked a company who had done successful Batman games to make a completely different style of game. So you're on the back foot to begin with. You're making bad decisions to start with. And you had so many chances to avoid this mistake. When it was first announced, people were like, well, that's a weird decision. Why aren't you just letting Rocksteady do what Rocksteady do best? And then subsequently, after the original announcement, every single time, and I mean every single time, the game was shown off to the public in trailer form or cinematic form or gameplay previews or whatever it was, every single time, there was an enormous chorus of the gamers, the people whose money you want, telling you, this is not the game we want. Screaming it as loud as we could. And it did really poorly. And I mean really poorly. Like a couple of thousand people on Steam playing it. A couple of hundred maybe by now. I haven't checked over the last few days, but it just went a tiny little spike in the beginning because it didn't even sell well in the beginning. Like even before people had a chance to, play it for themselves or see other people play it, we all knew that's not the game we want. So we told you with our money this time, which is the only thing you listen to, clearly. Let's see if the message sticks this time, though, eh? So, Warner Brothers Chief Financial Officer Gunnar Wiedenfels. I have a very simple message to you and your fellow, top-tier executives. Some advice from a nobody, I know. You've got no reason to listen to me. I'm not successful in any real way that you would respect, at least. But here's my advice for you anyway. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of this industry. You are a cancer in the gaming industry. Nobody wants you here. Well, obviously, someone wanted you there because someone thought you would make them money. But clearly, you've demonstrated you are not good enough for that job. And you shouldn't have that job because you made decisions that led to things like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League releasing, despite everybody who was going to potentially buy your game telling you that's not the game we wanted. Yeah. For anyone still watching. The addendum, I suppose. It's the first time I've been on camera for a video in many weeks, I think. I did attempt a stream about 3 or 4 weeks back, but that went very, very poorly, and it was going to be an hour's, 8-hour long stream, and it ended in less than half an hour because I just kind of collapsed under the weight of my own mental health. I've been doing it rough recently. I've been trying to keep it away from the channel as much as possible. I made one video reflecting on it, and that video did extraordinarily poorly because nobody wants to hear. But yeah, the one of a few reasons they've been seeing the CG, then the VR avatars hosting the videos instead of me, is it makes it easier to mask. It makes it easier to perform as if I'm feeling all right. Before and after those videos, I collapse into a puddle of misery still because I am deep in an unusually long and savage bout of depression at the moment. Being bipolar, it tends to happen fairly frequently, but hasn't been this bad in quite some time. There wasn't any trigger for it or anything. For those who don't understand anything about bipolar depression, there's not a trigger. Nothing sad happened to make me perma-sad. And depression isn't even just sadness. It's just overall feeling kind of weighed down and having your energy sapped away. And it's tough to describe to people who haven't actually experienced depression as we talk about it in the medical sense, rather than just, if your pet dies, you get real sad for a while. That you feel depressed. That's not quite the same thing as what people who experience medical grade depression is. So there's nothing particularly wrong. Worried about money and stuff, but what else is new? But yeah, that's one of the main reasons. And some people have reacted quite poorly to me not being on camera, which is weird because I'm not especially animated as a person. I'm not especially pretty to look at. I don't think I'm hideous, but it's not as if I'm, some 24-year-old gorgeous thing with a perfect body and makeup and hair and the whole, So yeah, I don't get why some people are getting pissy that I use the avatars. There wasn't many of them, but they were particularly aggressive about it. Some people really, really like them. The other reason is I've been working to teach myself 3D modeling and stuff, and rigging these things up for VR is one way to explore how well I'm doing at modeling those things. Is when you get them in motion and you get them mirroring human motion, not just trying to artificially animate them, which I've still not done much of because it's something I'm still learning about. But Blender's workflow for making animations manually is taking me a while to wrap my head around, especially because I learned to animate in a very different way many years ago when I was doing stop motion animations. So yeah, if you're wondering why I've barely been on camera recently, it's partly because, I wanted to use these things I've been building, and partly because it makes it easier to present to video if I'm not feeling self-conscious about how I look, because I have been looking pretty friggin' rough recently. Like, this is the cleanest and most put together I've looked in many days. Like, I haven't been, the beard has been untrimmed. I trimmed it yesterday morning. I'm desperately need a haircut, and usually I haven't even been brushing in the morning. It's just I look like some mad scientist looking motherfucker recently, and getting myself camera presentable is just a wave of effort that I haven't had the space for. So just putting on the VR headset and not having to worry about that is it's made it slightly easier to produce more content on an ongoing basis. So that's where we're at, I guess. I did kind of ramble a little bit longer than I expected to. Maybe I will split this up into 2 videos. Maybe I won't. I don't know. You tell me. Which way did I go? Thank you, as always, to the patrons, by the way. And I really am hoping to get back to somewhat normal soon. I miss streaming. I miss hanging out with people live and having a chat. But yeah, it's too hard right now, frankly. It's all too hard.